man, this is a touchy subject, extremely fucking touchy, and it's something that I usually try and stay away from, especially politics. But when it involves video games and stuff like that, you know what? It's something that I want to talk about, especially when it involves a lot of creators that I adore very, very much, and a game that I emphasis, and when I say emphasis on a game that I used to love, and I don't anymore. And hold up, no, it's not what you're thinking. It's not because of this. I fucking hated this game a long time, like for a while now. I have not played this game in fucking ages. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you haven't read the title of this video, which you probably would if you've clicked on it, is obviously about the recent Nickmercs tweets. So if you don't know what's happened recently, outside a school, I think it was, you know, there was some protests going outside of a school regarding LGBT and whether it should be allowed to, you know, be talked about in the schooling. And, you know, there was obviously, whenever something like that goes on, you're obviously going to get protesters, and it's going to be protesters on both sides. Now, unfortunately, things escalated pretty badly, and there ended up being a brawl outside the school. I'm pretty sure, I think police were there. I'm going to put a video up of it now just for you guys to see. Obviously, something like that, you know, in front of kids is pretty shit. It's fair enough to protest. You know, protesting your beliefs is fair enough. You know, we live in a free world, you know, especially America. You know, they're very big on, you know, free country kind of thing. We live in, you know, America free. We're free in America, which is fair enough. You know, it's not just your country, by the way. Australia here, we're fucking free too, but doesn't matter. Yeah, it's fair. But you know what? When something like that breaks out, you know, I'm more of an advocate for, you know, peaceful protesting. And when something like that breaks out, it's a bit sad and a bit, you know, unfortunate that, you know, things like that have to escalate to that point. I think are pretty terrible. And then, you know, so that video was up, and then Nickmercs has basically replied to it, saying that, you know, we should leave our kids out of this. They should leave little children alone. That's the real issue. That's the exact tweet that he tweeted out. Obviously, when you talk about LGBT plus in this day and age, it's gonna blow up. No matter if it's positive, no matter if it's negative, no matter if it's in between as well, it's going to blow up, and someone, somehow, somewhere, the internet is going to get butthurt over it. Just the way that we live in, you know, and it's very unfortunate. So after this tweet, he tweeted this, I think it got like 10 million views or something like that, which is absolutely fucking insane. You know, and it's kind of fair enough, especially someone who's as big of a content creator as Nickmercs is. You know, it doesn't really surprise me all that much that it got that views, but it's still crazy that it did. After that, Activision, who obviously are the owners of Call of Duty, you know, the publishers for it, Nickmercs has his own skin in that game, and unfortunately, after this tweet, Activision has now pulled his skin and his bundle from the Call of Duty game, which is just, you know, from backlash saying that, like, you know, he was anti-LGBT tweet, which, you know what, that's what they said in their tweet. They said that, you know, after Nickmercs' recent anti-LGBT comments, which is just completely stupid and completely wrong. You're making it sound like it's so much worse than what he actually said. And he actually explained himself in a recent video as well, which I will show you a little bit of him talking about this now.
That I want to be the one, and my wife wants to be the one to speak with our child about stuff like that. And that was the tweet. That was the tweet. You can take the tweet if you want, and you can spin it, flip it, flop it, quote tweet it. You can put 10 paragraphs on top of it. You can do whatever you want to it to make you feel better if that's what you want to do. But that was the tweet, okay? So if you came here to hear that, I hope you feel a little better about it. I didn't mean to upset anybody. I know that I did. I'm not apologizing about the tweet because I don't feel like it's wrong. I'm going to stand by what I said. I'm not going to delete the tweet. You know, I just want to make sure everybody understands exactly the point I was trying to make by tweeting by tweeting my response. You know, and I do want to apologize to Puckett though. I feel like I might have brought a little bit of shit his way, man. I didn't mean to do that.
So to summarize there, what Nickmercs was talking about is that, you know, his tweet meant that, you know, he wants to be the one to introduce his child. And if you don't know, Nickmercs and his wife recently had a child sometime last year. I can't remember exactly now. I think the child is coming up to being 1 year old. And, you know, what he was saying is that, you know, he wants to be the one to introduce his child to, you know, the LGBT plus community, which is absolutely fair enough. You know, if that's what you want to do, if you want to be the one to introduce your kids to the LGBT community, I think that's absolutely fair enough, and you should be the one to do that. You know, I don't think that, you know, some people will be like, oh yeah, you know, I don't really want schools introducing someone to that, especially because, like I said, it's a very, very touchy subject these days. And if you yourself as a parent want to be the one to introduce it, I think it's fair enough. And I think it's actually, it probably is a lot more better. You know, I definitely think that parents should be the one to teach their kids a lot of stuff when it comes to, you know, especially sex and, you know, sexual orientation and all that stuff. It's a very, very touchy and complex subject. And you know what, where he's coming from, especially as a parent, I'm not a parent. I don't plan to be a parent, so I can't really, you know, comment too much about it. But, you know, he wants to be the one to introduce his child to that. And that's fair enough. It's not anti-LGBT. He didn't come out and say that, you know, he hates the LGBT community. He didn't come out and he says that children should not learn about it at all. No, all he said was that when it comes to in the schools, no, I want to be the one to introduce my kid to it. That's all he said. And, you know, when he said leave these kids out of it, it's because there was parents and adults brawling in front of kids. Are you for real? Like, of course, man. I don't know if I had a kid, like, you know, as I said, I don't want to be a parent. I can't be, but like, to be honest, I don't think you, even if you don't have a kid, I wouldn't want my kid to, you know, see parents brawling on outside of the school. And it doesn't matter if it's about LGBT. It's about anything, bro. It doesn't matter what it is. Even if it was like someone who said, oh yeah, the school shouldn't have mathematics, and someone else said it should, and then they're brawling out in front of the school of that. I wouldn't want my kids to see that either. And kids shouldn't see adults who are meant to be more mature, meant to be more grown up, brawling outside a fucking school. Are you for real? Of course, man. When it comes to children, you shouldn't be fighting, man. It should be peaceful protesting. So of course Nickmercs has the right to say that. And of course, if he wants to be the one to introduce his kids to the LGBT community, that's fair enough. He's not LGBT. He didn't say he was. He just says he wants to be the one. Him and his wife want to be the one to talk about it. What's so fucking wrong about that? And it's just so stupid now that Activision has gone ahead and taken his bundle down and then come out and said that he's had anti-LGBT plus community comments. And that's just outrageous and stupid. Honestly, I've already made videos about Activision and Blizzard. You know, Activision Blizzard, because they're one company. And they just keep getting worse. Honestly, I was hoping that Diablo 4, I've been playing so much Diablo 4 and I fucking hate myself for it. The fact that I'm still supporting Activision Blizzard, you know, I just fucking hate myself so much. It's such a good game, and I'm trying to tell myself that no, I'm not supporting the company. I'm supporting the devs. I'm supporting the devs for making a beautiful and a fun and amazing game, you know, and it's just ridiculous. And also after this has come out, there has been other creators who have stand by him as well. One of the big ones that obviously stood by him very, very closely was Dr. Disrespect. I'm going to show a video now. He actually uninstalled the game. And if you don't know Dr. Disrespect, he plays Call of Duty so fucking much. He loves it, absolutely loves it. Yeah, and he actually uninstalled it.
Is uninstall the game. Number one. I mean, don't get a mistaken. This year's Call of Duty is the worst in its franchise. But that decision by COD's PR marketing team, I'll tell you right now, man. That's a tough one. That's a tough one to digest for the two-time. I feel like, A, they either need to apologize publicly to him or reinstate his bundle in order for me to consider playing Call of Duty again. That's where I'm at.
Obviously, Dr. Spec has been a long time friend of Nickmercs. Obviously, they don't play anymore, especially because Doc got banned by Twitch. He's not allowed to play with anyone who streams on Twitch, or they will get banned himself. But, you know, he's still a massive fan, a massive friend of Nickmercs. And obviously, it's good to see, you know, someone else supporting someone else. And I just also want to say that Hassan's comments on Dr. Disrespect, he said he's more loyal to Nickmercs having his skin than his own wife. Hassan, you're a fuckwit. Honestly, like, why the fuck would you go ahead and say something like that? That's just so fucking stupid. Like, come on, man. Honestly, like, Hassan, why are you gonna bring something like that up? That shit's long and gone. That shit was from fucking years ago. Honestly, man, you're just trying to get yourself some fucking clips around here. Like, come on, bro. That's just absolutely fucking dumb. And it's really funny because I also saw a tweet while I was doing a little bit of research, you know, going through Twitter about this. It's really funny because apparently before cancelling Nickmercs for being anti-LGBT, which he is not, actually censored the pride flag in the Middle East version of the game, which is so fucking hypocritical. Because if you are meant to be pro-LGBT, you should not be censoring the flag just so you get sales in another company. That is so fucking hypocritical of you. As if you would do something like that, you remove him for not having LGBT plus comments, and then but you do something like this. Are you fucking for real? That's just absolutely insane. It's just so hypocritical. I just can't believe that would fucking do it. Like, are you for real? It's so dumb, and this whole situation is really stupid. Honestly, if you know, you're going through this video and you know, you probably don't really care, but if you want my opinion about this, you know, that's one of the reasons why I make videos like this, to give my opinion as well. You know, I always try to say as much information as I can and give my opinion at the end. When it comes to my stance on LGBT, I'm very much big on be whoever you want. Be what you want. If you're a man and you want to have relations with another man, that's fine. If you're a woman and you want to have relations with another woman, do what you want. If you're a man, you want to transition to a woman, do what you want. If you're a woman, you want to transition to a man, that's fine. I don't care. If you want to identify as something else, I couldn't care less. To me, you want to know why? Because it doesn't affect me in any way. So to me, I'm very big on do whatever the hell you want. So you know what? I'm for LGBT plus community. 100%. I'm for LGBT plus. You know, the community itself can be a little bit aggressive sometimes, and you know, man, they're just, you know what, especially with this recent protest and the fight that I showed you earlier, you're meant to be the ones who are standing up. You're meant to be the ones, you want to show yourself as being more mature than the others, but then you're going ahead and you're punching on, you're fighting. It's meant to be a peaceful protest, man. Be peaceful. An eye for an eye makes the whole world go blind, bro. That's what the saying is, because of shit like this. And then you wonder why people hate you, because you're being too aggressive, man. Just be peaceful about it. Just be peaceful. And you know what? People are anti, man. Just let people do what they want. If someone wants to be gay, if someone wants to be lesbian, if someone wants to be trans, fucking identify, who gives a fuck, man? Don't affect me. Don't affect you. Who cares, man? Honestly, but you know what? After this, I support Nickmercs in what he's saying. Because like I said, he's not anti-LGB. He didn't say he was. The tweet is not him being anti-LGB. It's not in any way fucking possible. All it is him saying is that I would rather be the one to introduce my kid to it, not schools, which is fair enough. Which is fair enough, because you might not agree with the way that the schools teach your kids that subject, which is absolutely fine. Because I remember I did sex ed in year 7, and some parents, you know, didn't sign the waiver for their kids to teach them about sexual education, because you know, obviously they want to be the ones who introduce their kid to it. Because you know, when it comes to sexual orientation and just sex education in general, you know, it's a very touchy subject, yeah, and it's a very complex subject, you know, and especially these days, like I said, it's very touchy, and it's even more complex than it has ever been today. And if you want to be, as a parent, if you're a parent and you want to be the one to introduce your kid to that, that's fine. That's fine. As long as it's positive, man. As long as it's nice. As long as you're nice to others. As long as you're considerate to others. That's all that matters, man. And Nickmercs wasn't being rude in any way possible. He wasn't. He was just disgusted with the fact that he saw parents punching on over kids. Man, like, come on, man. You're meant to be adults, and you're punching on over a subject over kids, man. So I understand him. I'm all for him. I'm all for the LGBT plus community. Like I said, be whoever you want. And I support Nickmercs' tweet. I support him 100%, man. I love Nickmercs. You know, him, Doc, and Tim. I loved their Warzone content back in the OG Warzone days, man. But fuck it all, man. I can't believe Activision did that, and they've really stinged him with the comments that they said. You know, saying that he's anti-B, anti-LGBT, because he's not, man. So that's it from me. A little bit longer video than I usually make, but you know what? This is a touchy subject, and you know, someone's probably if this video somehow gets a lot of views, someone's definitely gonna fucking hate me in the comments. And you know what? I'm gonna get less because, like I said before, no matter if you say something positive or negative, someone's gonna hate you one way or another. It's just the world that we live in. So yeah, that's it for me. Peace out.